Wilfred Asukwa, how are you doing? How are you all doing? Indeed, it is a very, very special day. So, today we're talking about why your spouse needs to know your password and your account balance. Why your spouse needs to know your password and your account balance. With the numerous cases of divorce up and down and everywhere, I think we need to talk about finances in a marriage. Most people shy away from this, but this is a conversation. My wife knows my password and my wife knows my account balance. Any money I make, yesterday you guys were live with me when people started sending me money on YouTube via YouTube Supers. You saw as I ran down to show her. I don't hide financial. Hey, Papi Prof has already sent me one money gun on TikTok. God bless you, Papi Prof. I don't hide anything from my wife with regards to finances. Also, because I have a partner who is mature enough to understand and to handle critical issues. I want us to talk about this. We're still going to talk about what's happening with the cooties and what's happening with the police and so many cases of police issues in Nigeria. We're going to talk about it in 30 minutes. So, like I said, guys, just give me 30 minutes. Let me talk about this. The problem is not passwords. The problem is who you guys are getting married to. There is a problem with the people you guys are getting married to. Your wife should know your account balance, but if they mess up, you can withdraw that privilege. If they mess up, I'll give you an example. If every time my wife sees new money in my account, she tears me a new bill, then I have the right not to show her the account. If she is manipulating my money, if I see, no, you see, listen, some guys, some of you want to have allowance for your side chicks. Because if your wife sees 10 million in your account and then 2 million goes out, and it's not like you spent it on the car or the house or something, it becomes worrisome. So those of you who get side chick, you know, go work for now. If somebody, you see, knowledge is different from access. It starts with knowledge. If she betrays your trust when you give her the knowledge, you withdraw the knowledge. If she upholds your trust, or if he upholds your trust, when you give him knowledge, you can proceed to give him or her access. Someone says there's no how a woman will see new money in your account and not tell you a new billing. That's gender. It's a lie. It is a lie. My wife will not give me a bill that we have not discussed before, because I also know how to rise to occasions. I also know how to rise. There anything happening. For instance, there's something in the family, in her family or my family. I always make sure I come through to the best of my ability. Nobody. Someone say, how side chick go chop? That's why I'm saying you are not ready for marriage. You are not ready for marriage. Is a big deal. Women also sometimes help men plan their money. A good wife should not plan her husband's money with him. You have to know that in the togetherness there is still identity. Let me break it down to you. When she has her cramps, you both don't have cramps. When she is ovulating, you are not both ovulating. No matter how the Bible says two become one, until the two of you start menstruating together, there is still separation in your unity. You are individuals unified. You are together, but there are still things that are separate about you because you are individuals. God forbid, should there be an emergency, I believe my wife should have access to my money. Let me tell you, if you don't give your wife access to your money or your husband access to your money, if anything happens to you, bank no go give anybody the money. Bank no go give anybody the money. Someone says when one is earning next to nothing and the other one is earning high, it's still discipline. Know the kind of women you married. Know the kind of women you marry. Bank, before bank go release money to you, go ask anybody. Baba, you go suffer. That's if they even release it and they your money is almost 100% gone. By the time the court releases it, the money go down lose value. You see? Please, if you're enjoying me on YouTube, please send me what do you call super chats. I really appreciated it yesterday. Oh yeah. YouTube people, if you're enjoying the talk, send me if you're watching on TikTok, where my gift, big shout out to my TikTok family. A bonus for bank, OT law. Next of kin is who they will call should there be an emergency. Doesn't mean next of kin has access to your money. How about you go struggle? So your wife has, but you see, you get the kind useless wife where you go get. You need to protect yourself. Joint accounts, I don't agree, because everybody has their individual preferences. Once money don't enter joint account, it don't turn our money. No matter who brought it, once it's in the joint account, it is our money. Money in my account is my money. You see, many of you have no business marrying. I say this all the time. Many of you have no business marrying. You are meant for flings and one night stands and all those kind of things. Now, where una maturity reach? Una never reach the kind maturity we person need to marry. It doesn't mean maybe you have reached, but your wife hasn't. So it's a problem. For instance, you know that your wife is a spendthrift. I want to read a story to you. Somebody forwarded this story to me. Apparently, they got it on the internet. I want to read the story to you all. My wife's salary was a mystery until I discovered how much she's truly worth. In 2016, she told me her salary was 35,000 naira. And then 2 years later, she got promoted. I asked about the salary and she said, oh, these people don't mind them. They only added 8,000 naira to my old salary. Because of her meager salary, I've taken up so many responsibilities in the house without complaints. I pay for the utilities, I pay for food, I pay for fees of our 2 children. I clothe them and take care of their medical bills. When my wife sends me a grocery list, she adds sanitary towels. She buys dresses and clothes and comes to show them for me and asks me to pay for them. She started talking about a car when our second child came in. Things weren't good on my side, so I asked her to give me some time. She said, I've saved something. I can add it to what you have so you can pay me when your money comes. For her own cow. I agreed and took the money from her, topped it up to get a new car. For 3 months, my ears never rested. She would wake up at dawn and ask me to pay what I owed her. I got tired and paid the money when I didn't have much in my account. One evening, I turned my laptop on and saw a lot of emails. I checked and it was my wife's email that had been opened. I asked her, did you use my laptop? She answered, yes, I was checking something. I told her, why didn't you log out? She said, I forgot, please log out for me. I was about to log out when something caught my attention. I saw a mail with the subject January payslip. I opened and started going through it, and I realized her gross salary was 654,734 naira. And this girl has been crying poverty. I went through the details. That night I couldn't sleep. I was angry. I felt let down. I felt cheated. I felt played. We've been married for 6 good years and my wife earned that much without my knowledge. How much she earned didn't bother me a lot than what she was using the money for. I decided not to talk immediately, but rather go on a bit of an investigation. All my life, I've held the view that it wasn't right for anyone to go through their partner's phone. It's an invasion of privacy and it breeds mistrust in the relationship. But that night, going through her phone was the only way to find out what I was looking for. I started with her best friend. Nothing much could be found. Her family had a WhatsApp group. I read the messages there. I got a few hints. I went through chats with her father, and that's when I realized that my wife had bought a piece of land and had started building. Her father was in charge of the project. He sent photos of the various stages of the building. At some point, her father said, thank you for helping out your brother. He would have been home if it had not been for you. She had only one brother, her senior brother. I went to look for the chat between them. Her senior brother lost his job and was home doing nothing. So my wife bought him Hyundai i10 to use for Uber. Every week, her brother rendered an account and they split the money. From all indications, my wife was doing well for herself while she plays poor, so she could rely on my salary. Why would she do that? I thought I was being a supportive husband so my wife could be proud of the man she married. When we bought land, it was in her name and my name that appeared on the title. The car I bought for her was from a loan. It bears her name. I don't mind. I believe it was hers and also mine. The next morning, I realized I wasn't looking well. I was boiling on the inside. But looking for a good opportunity to start the conversation. When I calmed down a little, I asked her, "So why would you do this to me?" She asked, "What have I done?" I answered, "You bought land. You never told me. You started building on it. You never told me. When are you going to tell me?" She was shocked. She asked, "Who told you all that?" I said, "Your father did." She stood quietly for a while. She asked, "Why would my father tell you all that?" "What are you people talking about?" I asked. "I don't know. You can ask him." We left it there. Some minutes later, she came back to me with her phone. "My father wants to talk to you." The phone was already on loudspeaker. Her father was clearly angry. He asked, almost shouting, "You said I told you my daughter has a building. Where did I say that?" I asked, "Is it not true that my wife has a building going on that you are supervising?" He asked me, "I told you that?" I asked him, "Is it true or not?" After the back and forth, I told them, "I read your messages last night. I saw the pictures. I read the various budgets you had sent to my wife. I read the confirmation of the money receipts that you sent. You are a man. Will you be happy if your wife does this to you?" He started fumbling, started apologizing, saying he thought I was aware. If you thought you were aware, why were you denying it? My wife stood there motionless, didn't know what to say. When her father hung up, I told her everything I knew from her salary to the car she bought for her brother. I said, "Yet even your sanitary towels I buy for you. You think I'm a fool? You use our money to acquire your own property and live on mine because you are my wife?" I hear, we will see. Trust was lost, love was broken. We had to find a new way of living our lives going forward. Her father called me every morning and evening apologizing for everything, sometimes taking up the blame so I didn't have to blame his daughter. I told him, "The emotional state I'm in right now, it will be hard to think straight or think forgiveness. Just give me space." 3 days later, they were in our house. The father, the mother, and the senior brother, they came to apologize. "Don't let this break up the beautiful marriage you both have. If nothing at all, consider the kids and be lenient in your judgment." I listened to them. My position was still the same. I needed time to clear my mind. "Just leave me alone to think. From last month to this moment, I'm writing this. My wife has changed totally. She doesn't ask for money. The house is being run smoothly. She has started paying for things she never paid for, but that doesn't move me. She has taught me a very great lesson, and I'm taking it seriously. That in everything, I have to look out for myself and my family first. Lastly," she told me, "if you want us to change the names on those properties, we can do so." Guess whose name on the property? Her father's name. I told her, "You don't need to change anything, they are yours. You suffer for them so you can decide what you want to do with them. The land I bought has our name. I'm selling it and taking my money back. The car she's driving has her name. I put a for sale on it. She agreed she'll pay for the car. I've given her 2 months to pay up. I'll sell it and take my money." She's getting the messages. I'm glad. Each one for himself, God for us all. She keeps asking if I'm going to leave her. I kept telling her I won't. But if she wants a separation for a period, I'll gladly give her. I'm not going to leave the marriage. I'll give her some time to heal. And I see what may happen when it comes to money. I've taken the lessons she taught me through her actions. So, listening to this particular message, First things first. This man has done nothing but being a great husband. To the point where he even borrowed money to buy his wife a car. This whole idea, now, guys, if this man had his wife's you see all this, I don't go to my, now mumu no they go through in wife phone. Now mumu no they go through in husband phone. Listen to me, all of you listening. If you don't go through your husband's phone, you are a mumu. Repeat after me. Mumu. Òpònú ni ẹ́ ọ̀dẹ̀. If you don't go through your wife's phone, you be mumu. If you, right now you're listening to me, you are in a marriage and you don't know how much your wife is earning, you be mumu. This man, this matter for no reach like this, to say you don't catch him early. Let me tell you something. When you allow people to be uninhibited to any degree, you are creating the opportunity for secrecy. If your wife knows or your husband knows that you can check their phone at any time, there are certain conversations they will not indulge in. There are certain conversations they will not go through. If your wife has more than one phone, go through both. If your wife has a runs phone, check up on your people. Someone said, I have, you see, my brother is the day they will do you strong thing. Look at this guy. What if he lost his job? His wife has sorted herself out. What if he lost his job? He has nothing because he's carrying the whole load of the family while she's building a house for her father. Go through emails, go through social media accounts. Know what they, someone said you want high BP. Baba, you will not get high BP. It's better for you to get high BP self and be maintaining the high BP than for you to get stroke. If that man lost his job and realized that his wife had all this, he will have a stroke. He's not high BP. He will go from there to a stroke. Now, if you do all this and your wife or husband are still hiding things, divorce them. No need to continue that relationship. Leave. There are people who have no trust in them. They have no truth in them. What this man married is not a wife. Is an Ori Buruku. Say after me, Ori Buruku. What he married is not a wife. 1 second. To wash my face. Yeah. Oh. Oh man. I can't continue. They fight them, they go. But I will not cook the hear what normally. Yeah, sorry, had to get some grapes. I'm trying to watch my weight. I'm eating sugarless crackers and grapes. That wife is not a good wife. No matter how you want to look at it, the wife is not a good wife. The wife is a terrible wife. Alright guys, don't be angry. Make small thing just in my belly. At the size of the grapes. I'm not really a fruit person, but I love grapes. That guy was married to a knife, not a wife. I kind of like these white grapes more than the red ones. The red ones are more sour. Okay, I've had enough. Aha. One thing I always have in my fridge is grapes. All right, let me now continue. I don't know, the red ones are nice though, but they're sour, and I don't really like sour things. So all I've eaten today are biscuits, grapes, water. Bread is the best, but it's sour. I love cherries too, but they're hard to get. I get them from time to time. Miss Thickness, how you doing? No one said I'm doing RCGG fast. Lie. I'm not doing any fast. I'm just trying to watch my weight and eat healthy. It's good to be eating fiber, absolutely. So back to the story, yeah. I think if you don't want to be a mumu, if you don't want to be caught out in the rain without an umbrella, always make sure you check up on the person you're married to. They will tell you like it is a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. In my former relationship, I did not know what my ex was earning. I paid for everything in the house, everything. Okay, maybe she bought the children's clothes, even the children's clothes. If I traveled, I bought clothes for them. I paid school fees, everything, 100%. We lived in Cool FM house, which was deducted from my salary, or was my entitlement, as the case may be. But going forward, I realized that that's not a workable formula. I must know what my wife is making. I must have an idea of her income. So that when we commit to projects, because they're going to also be family projects, we must commit. If me and you are earning, if I'm earning 500,000 and you're earning 400,000, and then something happens in your family or my family, and they say, bring 100K. We will bring it 50-50. We will bring it 50-50. But if I'm earning 500K and you're earning 100K, I might tell you to bring 10K or 20K, I'll bring the rest. When you don't know how much they earn, you tend to overdo or underdo. For instance, if your wife's making 1 million and you're making 1,000,000 too, but you don't know she's making 1 million, so you feel that it's okay to give 50K to a certain cause, and she feels no, it's not okay to give 50K. She wants to give 200K, but you don't know. There will always be those instances of where you are overdoing it or underdoing it. You have to look at each other and say, okay, because she has done this, I've also decided to do this. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, send me gifts. So where are all the YouTube people that were sending me gifts yesterday? When I don't run again, no. I went to bring my Fold 4 now for YouTube, just to make YouTube people comfortable and happy. Someone says, I have a sharing formula in my marriage. 60-40. If the man is earning more, then it's 60-40. If it's equal earnings, it's 50-50. 100%. Equal earnings, it's 50-50. Equal earnings is 50-50. If you're watching on TikTok, remember to follow my top gifters. Big shout out to my top gifters. I'm going to bring 2 or 3 people. We're going to have a conversation around this, and we're going to move to the next topic. When you divorce, you go know the real bank balance. Absolutely. Because if you are living abroad, court will mandate it. You can't even hide it.
Daddy Freeze.
How are you doing, my darling? Somebody, Miss Ivy says, Daddy Freeze, this will not apply for every married couple. It is highly impossible. It holds a lot of risk sometimes. You remember the man who by his wife after finding out 10 million naira in her account. The problem is, who are you getting married to? Who are these people you guys are getting married to? I think we need to revisit that. If you're my top gifter, I'll only read comments on TikTok if you're my top gifter. So if you want to comment, drop the comment with a gift on TikTok. That's how we're going to do it. You know I love y'all. Big shout out to the one person who sent me a money gun on TikTok. That is Papi Prof. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what are your thoughts before we move to, hey, Irook sent me £5. I need to shout out to Irook. Irook, shout out, brother. £5. Big up, big up, big up. Love you loads. Woo, 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 woo. On YouTube. All right, over to you.
All I have to say about this bank balance, whatever. See, even me that is not married, I know how many bank accounts I have, right? So a lot of people that get married, I don't think they can be here and say, oh, yes, my husband knows my bank balance or whatever. But a lot of them hide the actual account. Yeah, a lot of men do that too. So we can't just be saying, okay, I know my husband, but you don't know. It's when you now divorce that you now see, so this is how much this lady actually has. So this is how much this guy actually has. So see, whoever wants to do it, just do it too. But be smart. Be smart with it.
My problem is, why are you getting married to people who you cannot trust? It's worrisome.
But it's the same reason people do prenups. It's not really about trust. It's just them trying to, be on the safe side. Because nowadays, people don't really marry for love or for whatever. They marry for just to say I'm married or whatever. So it's just for security reasons. People change. Exactly. The person that's type, people change. So you never know. You just have to protect yourself.
Now, yeah, people change. It's worrisome. But what also happened to you understanding the situation properly before you get into the marriage? Too many of us are getting married for the wrong reasons.
Act.
Too many of us are getting married for the very wrong reasons, and it is a problem. And it is going to continue being a problem. All right, Susan, how are you doing? What are your thoughts?
Good evening, Daddy Praise. Have been following you for a couple of years. Now, it's very important that you must be transparent just before you get married to your partner. Things that you need to discuss with your partner: finances, how much you both earn, what you guys do, where you work, what level you are in that organization. Very important. If you have any landed properties, declare it your landed properties, and then how your home will be run. If the husband is going to pay more, if the wife is going to pay more, depending on how both of them earn, it should be discussed before that marriage is entered. My own home, my husband was earning way more than me from the start. So we agreed it was going to be 60-40. Once you get a promotion, declare it to your husband. Once you get a raise in your salary, declare it to your partner. Very important. We don't believe in joint accounts because my money is my money, my husband's money is his husband's money. But for me, I would say marriage is a company and it's equal partnership. So it depends on how you want your home to last or your home to run, and that's how you take it. Now, for finances, for my own home, I'm talking from experience. We table out all we need, all the expenses we have, and then we share. My husband runs when we're in Nigeria, he was running the rent, and then I was running 2 school fees, and my husband was running my first son's school because that was more expensive. And then for projects, we share. If we're going to do any landed property, if the landed property is 10 million, how much do you have? And then we print out our statements. We always share our statements. Print out our statements. I have this amount, you have this amount. How much do you want to bring? We don't enforce on each other. You won't say, you go and bring 10 million. No. How much do you want to bring? This is how much I can afford to bring. How much do you want to bring? Is it enough for us to do this project or not? Everything is a mutual understanding. There must be mutual agreement between both couples. Transparency is very, 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 very key. And you must marry a partner that can handle finances very well. Not a spendthrift. Not a spendthrift. If you know your partner is a spendthrift and he earns a lot of money, and you're the one that knows how to handle funds well, and you guys have the agreement, you that's not a spendthrift, you handle the finances, you handle how I spend my money, you make sure I'm accountable for everything I spend, fine. Everybody's marriage is different. Everybody's marriage is different, really, and it depends on how you want to run your home. Finances is a very, very critical aspect in marriage, and a lot of people get it wrong. So, we're talking here today, but it may not apply to everybody. It depends on how you want your home to run. Some people, some guys or some women are not financially matured. Once they know you have money, all they want to do is spend, collect. So it depends on the person you marry, really.
All right, so let me ask you a question. What if you married someone who loves to spend money but loves to spend their own money? How do you handle that? By love to spend money is not everybody that wants to work and have assets everywhere. Some people want to drive the latest cars, wear nice watches, wear nice clothes, eat at nice restaurants, travel business class, have fun. How do you handle that?
As long as the person is providing in the home front, and when we have to do projects, the person brings his or her own share, there is no issue. It's your money. You can do whatever you like with your money.
What do you consider a project? Sorry, I'm asking you different questions.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Projects like paying school fees, paying house rent.
So let me ask you, where do you live? Where do you live?
I'm currently in UK.
Yeah, but did you ever at any point live in Nigeria?
Yes. I just left Nigeria 2 years ago.
Okay, when you were living in Nigeria, how were you handling school fees, for instance?
Okay, for instance, I have three children. Now, for house rent, because we're staying in Bagada, my husband pays the house rent. And then my first son's school fees, he pays the school fees. The last two, I paid their school fees. I paid the last two school fees. Then feeding, then he was giving me about 150 a month from his own salary for feeding from his salary. Things like Netflix, DStv, buying petrol or diesel, he does that. He fuels the two cars. I have nothing to do with fueling. But I say, I'll be frank with you. I know how to save. I save more.
Yeah, because he's spending more. You are spending to school fees of 2 children. He's spending more. How will you not save more?
I save more. I save more. And one thing we do at the end of the year, we do what we call how do I put it? What's this thing accountants do?
Auditing.
We audit both accounts at the end of the year. So if we see that my mother, like you said, my mother likes to spend a lot, going out, spending with his friends and all that, buying things, that's his thing. So if I see, babe, this year, what happened? You spent 1 million naira going out with your friends on drinks and all of that. That's too much, please. This new year, cut it down.
What if he says he doesn't want to cut it down, that he's enjoying it?
Well, that's his money. It's not my business.
What if he says, you know what? Why don't you take over feeding in the house? Since I pay rent, and I pay school fees of one child, why don't you handle feeding?
No, it's not my business. So he's the man. He's in the handle the feeding.
What makes you see?
We already had that agreement. He will pay rent, pay the first son's school fees, give me money every month for feeding. Me, I pay the other 2 children's school fees. We save.
Now, how much were the other 2 children's school fees combined?
So, 250, 500.
And you paid that?
I paid that every 3 months, yes.
Okay, so in a year, you spent 1.5 million on school fees?
Yes.
Okay. In a year, in 10 months, he spent 1.5 million for feeding?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
2 more months, he spent... So in 1 year, he spent 1.8 million on feeding, and you spent 1.5 million on 2 school fees. Then he spent... Hold on. Then he takes care of the rent. How much was the rent?
1.5.
Okay.
In Bagada.
So he's already done 3.2 million a year.
Plus this one.
Let me add something.
Now the first school fees. The first school fees was how much?
Now, let me come in now.
Hold on. The first school fees was how much? I want to give you. I'm auditing your
school fees. Yes. Was 600K.
Okay, so 3.8 million naira without fuel, without Netflix, while you spent only 1.5 million. The account no balance. Then you are now telling him to spend less on his friends. Now you supposed to spend more so he can have more money to spend on his friends.
Okay. Now hold on first. Now when it was time to relocate, we had to bring in all our savings together. I brought in the bulk of it.
And how much was that bulk of it?
I don't want to say.
You see, I understand. I love the fact that you guys work together. But you see, there was a bit of an imbalance already. Because Baba, they do 3.8. You, they do 1.5.
Well,
now, hold on. If you had done 1.5 and did shared feeding with him, that the two of you brought 75, it will have balanced the equation better.
But there's another thing you should know.
Okay.
There are sometimes, if I see a particular land I want to buy and it's not too expensive, maybe like 2 million, 3 million, I will buy it with my money, but the name is Susan and Allen son name. All property is Susan and Allen and son name. Depending on, it doesn't matter who pays for that particular property. It's Susan and Allen. What I'm just trying to say here is maturity, understanding.
Let me tell you, Susan, you are a good woman, no? I'm just drilling you. You are a very good woman. The average Nigerian woman, maybe you pay 2 children's school fees. But they go tell you say school fees na man responsibility. They go tell you say feeding na man responsibility. Listen, now imagine your husband carried rent of 1.5 million, school fees of 1.5 plus 1.8, the first ones. So rent and 2 children's school fees is 3 million. Plus the second school fees is now 4.8 million. Then plus 1.5 feeding. Only the man go carry 6 million.
He can't cope.
He can't cope.
He can't cope, no.
So the man will be going out with his friends, his trousers will be tearing. Because where is the money? He's not going to be able to afford his beer. He's not going to be able to afford his drinks.
But the thing is, my husband was earning double my salary. Anyway, we're not earning the same
Yes, okay, he was earning double your salary. But imagine you decided that you are not going to do anything, which the average Nigerian woman decides.
That's where there's a problem. That's where there's a problem.
Let me tell you something here. In my home, I do all the school fees. I don't pay rent because I own the house, the property. So I pay service charge and I buy electricity. I do we don't have DStv in my house because I had an issue with them once, and after that I was wondering, why am I paying 20k a month when what I actually need to watch is Netflix? Why do I want to be watching movies that I've watched over and over again? There was a time if I put on DStv and they are playing a movie, I'll be talking with the character, like me and them went to learn the lines together. I got I'm like, nah, and I don't watch football. So then we live near the sea. From my house to the beach is a 10-minute walk. I'm not even talking about driving my car is 3 minutes, 2 minutes safe. From my house to the beach is a 10-minute walk. So because the DStv disc metal is metal, the ocean breeze always corrodes it. So every year you'll be buying camera. One day the camera stopped working. I just said, who is even watching? I just remove this thing from my house, I beg. So we watch only Netflix. Anything you want to learn, CNN is online, anything is online, go and watch. So what I do is I buy most of the fuel. I would have said you should have been buying your fuel by yourself. You are going out buy your fuel. I buy most of the fuel. Anytime we go out with the cars, I just top up the fuel. But if my wife is the one going out, I usually drive her. So when I drive her, sometimes I say, babe, buy fuel. I buy fuel in all the cars, and fine. I'm not going to expect my wife to come and buy fuel in my convertible. You understand? Nobody sent them that message. You know, I do the servicing for all the cars, buy tire, battery, whatever. All those, cars have their own specific needs, and I make sure they're all attended to. But I don't touch feeding. Feeding, Taste Buds does that. Now, because I like to eat exotic things, I want to eat guinea fowl. I don't like eating rice and beans. I don't like eating house food. From when I was a kid, I used to hate eating house food. I like to eat what I want to eat. So there is a special budget for my own feeding, which is I want to eat oha soup. I have to buy the oha soup or she will subsidize it for me, but at least I have to buy the thigh of the goat and the prawn. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So she does most of the feeding, like I say 70, 75%. I do 30, 25, 30% of the feeding. Mostly I feed myself anyway. I pay all the school fees. Sometimes she fix things around the house. Something's broken. If I don't have too much money, I just come out my eye. Like I did not see it. But most of the time, anything around the house, I do. I buy the internet. I do all those things. So I'm not one of those people who doesn't take care of his family. Now, I like spoiling myself. I work very hard. My work comes with plenty insult, plenty sleepless nights. So I will now work, and now see one car they say it's 100 and something million. I can now not buy it because after I finish working, He will tie me with rope. Oh. He will tie me with rope. I don't have friends that I hang out with that require me spending money. The worst case scenario, my friends come over to the house, which is like once in 2 months. You understand, or once in 3 months. Worst case scenario, maybe once a month. I can easily handle those things. But I'm not the kind of guy that I'm with you guys every day, all day. If I'm not here, I'm at the poolside with my kids. There's a lovely pool we have in the estate. You understand? So it's either I'm here or I'm there. Someone says, so that's it generally. Now, when it comes to finances, women also need to understand, just like men need to understand that women need to buy human hair. I don't need to buy human hair. My hair is good enough. I barb my hair maybe one. I barb my hair myself. I just buy the clipper. Clipper costs like 50K because I like to buy the best clippers. I enter my bathroom, zing, 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 zing. I've cut my hair to the best of my ability. You understand? The haircut for me is free of charge. You know, my wife pays for the girls' hairdos and all. Sometimes I even pay for their hairdo, depending on maybe they made me proud, they did well in school or something. I can just decide that okay, I'm going to do hair for you. You understand? And I always like to take family out to nice places, hotels, restaurants, bars. I like taking them out so that they also experience that bonding we have. Rent in my estate is 7 million a year. I said it the
Damn.
other day. I was looking for a house for somebody. I used to think it was 3 million, 3.5 million. I told the guy, just bring 3 million. We'll beg the guy. We go see the guy. The guy see because it's me. Furnished 7 million without furnishing 6.5 for a year. That's when fear caught me. Luckily for me, I thank God I own the house. It's mine. I've had it for over 10 years. You know, I thank God for it every day because to be looking for 6 million every year to be to be paying
It's a
house on
very joke.
is not beans. But at the end of the day, finances are maybe if I wasn't bringing money, my wife would bill me. But once it is school fees, nobody needs to ask is done. Children's schools, I also do not like super expensive schools. Not because I can't afford it, but because they have bullying issues, they have complex issues that normal schools don't have. When you send your children to school with rich kids are messed up. Y'all need to know. All these your politicians' children, they are as useless as their parents. Just know. So all these big schools, don't put your children there. Put your children in schools where the parents are okay. You understand that whole mentality that I want to put my children in governor schools, Baba. Governor children are not well. Some of these people don't even have time to raise their children. Children are raised by TV and house girl, and they come and dump all that complex and the bullying. Some of the kids went to one particular school. I don't want to mention the name. Gosh, what we had to deal with normal schools, and they're doing so much better emotionally, psychologically, and academically. So I'm not one of those people who wants a super rich education now. I'm also the kind of person that believes that a Yabatech child belongs in Yabatech, not in Harvard. Some parents, some parents they carry picking we get Yabatech brain go Harvard. They leave it. And I tell parents something, yeah. I said never push your children. Keep them where they are comfortable. Keep them where they are comfortable. Because when you push your children, you get to a stage where you cannot push them again. And they will not excel. People don't like to hear this thing. If your picking get Yabatech brain, may you go Yabatech JJ or make you just go Unilag. If your picking get Cambridge brain, may you go Cambridge. But those children that are struggling in Unilag, you want to go and carry them to Cambridge. just because you have money. At the end of the day, you will have to deal with some issues that you are not ready for. And I tell people this all the time. What did you study in Nigeria?
English.
What university?
Olabisi Onabanjo.
That's
Osu.
OAU. Osu.
Osu. No.
No,
Osu.
sorry, Osu. Do you have a job in the UK?
Yes.
Did they hire you with your Osu certificate?
No.
What did you have to do?
What?
Did they hire you with your Osu certificate?
No.
What did you now have to do?
I did some certifications.
How long did it take you to do the certifications?
2 months, very short ones.
How much did it cost you?
£600.
So with your Osu certificate and £600, you have a job?
Yes.
So why do you now want to kill yourself? Why do you now want to kill yourself and send your child to Cambridge?
But when I was in Nigeria, I was working in a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'm doing here right now, I'll just say it's customer service, just by the way. I still need to do something
you
way
will
higher
do
than
it.
that.
Oh, you will continue the grind.
I need to do something way higher than that, yes. You know, so I'm still going to upgrade myself, because my husband, we came through school. My husband went to school, he finished his master's and just got a job, you know. And I think I'll have to go to school too, so I can get a professional job. Just my husband just finished and got his own, you know, because I don't want to just be
you grow
on this level of just, I need to grow, kind of, you know.
You grow.
So my thing is, this marriage thing, both of you must understand each other, must be able to plan and help each other grow. That's just the truth. If you guys don't plan together, if you guys don't help each other grow, it would not work. And another thing again, one person must be the mumu in the marriage. Both of you cannot be too smart in that marriage.
Can't you be exchanging the mumuness? One day you are mumu, the other one is smart.
Well, it depends on your home so everybody's own is different. One person will have braga, another person will be a mumu. But it depends. But the person that is a mumu would also use that mumu to be able to handle the home with her own mumuness. So it depends on the person's home. It depends on how your home, everybody's home is run. I'm just saying from my own aspects, you know. Then that if there's something you said about going through your spouse's phone, me in particular, I don't really like going through my husband's phone. I can go through it maybe once in 3 or 4 months. I don't really go through my husband's phone. And I don't pick my husband's calls. I'm not the kind of person, even if his mom's calls, I can't give him the phone. Mom says calling you. I'm not the kind of person that picks calls. I have never picked my husband's calls, except he tells me, babe, pick the call. So it depends on how you want to do it. I can just go through. Yes, you have to go through. I can just go through maybe once in 4 months or once in 3 months, just to browse and check what's happening. And then if I see any babes chat, I'll say, babe, now wow. So they don't check you up and that will be this one now. I don't just laugh over it.
You see?
So it depends.
Let me tell you what I do. My entire house is on the same iCloud. All my phones, all of them. And trust me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 iPhones and 2 Samsungs. The Samsungs obviously are not on the iCloud, but all the iPhones are on the same iCloud. And my wife's 2 iPhones and the kids' phones, they are all on the same iCloud. So if you are getting calls or missed calls, I'll be seeing them on my phone.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So if a phone rings, if a call rings, if my wife's getting a call now, my phone will ring and it will show from iPhone.
I'll go to toilet.
For instance, if my wife's calling now.
Yeah, there's only one rule in this house, and that's be yourself and have
Hey, please help me mute that audio copyright. Oh, mute your audio quickly. Hey, remove that thing playing in the background. That's in our copyright. Oh, I hope I was able to catch it on time before it fed into any other. Nobody swipe you, Komoto. Please stop it so I can bring you back. You know? So, what I was trying to say is, let me bring Mysticness back. Copyright, yes. They will now have stressing you and be giving you issues with your video. Ah, no, 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 no. You know, everything online is owned by someone. And I don't joke with copyright too. Baba, if you use any tiny bit of my video, you will immediately hear the copyright straight back. One guy now wrote me, said, I was helping you promote your videos, Daddy Freeze. I now got a copyright. You understand? I now got a copyright. I'm like, there's nothing I can do to help you. Okay, what happened, Miss Thickness? I was trying to bring you back, but I can't find you. Okay, I've seen you now. So, big shout out to someone also got me, sent me some money on Instagram. Oh, Akindele Omole sent me $10. Akindele Omole, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you send me money. You can actually send it. I have 222 people watching me on YouTube. People are hearing advice. We're having these conversations, and all of a sudden, you guys don't want. You want to be stingy? Don't be stingy, oh, YouTube people. I don't go giving a better phone. Make everything clear. Eh? So let me bring some other people back so we can have this conversation. Of course, YouTube people, I'm going to read your comments. If you're watching on TikTok, how are you doing? I'll be reading out the comments of my top gifters. So if you're my top gifter, big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. So education is very useful. This is another conversation we need to have. Education is very useful, but most people don't understand how to use education. 90% of people who studied whatever it is they studied in school get abroad and don't use it. What did you study again? English. You're not working as an English teacher.
No.
Miss Thickness didn't grow in Nigeria, so abroad, if you live abroad, the courses you do will be guided towards the kind of future you want. Nigerian man, they go study accounting, go abroad, they do for work or turn nurse. Anyway, we've got this lady with us. She's outside and breeze is blowing. So let's hear her.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, my darling sister.
Yeah, Daddy Freeze, how you doing? I greet you, everyone. Oh. Anyways, I just saw the topic of today, you understand? Anyway, when I was in Nigeria, I studied banking and finance, but I came to abroad, I never even used it. So let's even forget about it. I think my first job when I came here was babysitting. That's what I was doing, you know? You understand? Me that I went to school, I do my OND, my see? Okay. Yeah, and everything, you understand. I didn't come here to use it. I think my first job was babysitting. Later I did cleaning, you know. Most of us here won't use any of our stuff. And even till tomorrow, even if you have PhD, whatever, it depends on where you find yourself. As a starter, you will still want to do all those petty jobs for a start. You understand? So let's go straight to the topic. For me, I don't think it's a good thing for your spouse to know your account details or your password. I'm sorry.
But why do you say that?
Okay. Let me say this as an experience anyway. Because anyway, not like I'm married though, but because if I don't know if I want to say it anyway, I'll say it. It's none of my business. Because if they get to know the amount in your account, I'm talking about here. I'm not saying about Nigeria though, because I don't know. They want you to pay for everything, so long they know what is in your account. If you have somebody that you're dating, and he knows the amount you're receiving, and he knows what is in your account, he will want you to do everything in the house.
But you will be aware from when you're in your relationship that's the kind of person you're dating. From when you guys
everybody are not the same. Everybody is not the same anyway. Do you understand? But what I'm saying is this. For me, I don't think it's something I want to even try again, first of all.
Oh, so he knew your account balance, but did you know his?
No. For me, because I don't
care.
care.
What we are talking about.
That's fine.
If you know his, if he knows yours, you must know his.
Exactly. No, because it's not something that I'm actually interested in anyway, you know. So that's me. No.
Someone said most women can't handle things they see in their husband's phone. Husbands do better. Husbands do better. Let me tell you something. There. It's not easy to be my wife. Most of the people that come on my life are women. It is not easy. Most of the people I work with, most of the people I connect with are all women. So I must make my wife comfortable. And not just women, hot women, curvy women, fine women. How do you explain to your wife that this is, you see, you get the way for the behave. I don't know if you bring Debbie come my life. It go they cause problem. I don't know if you bring Debbie come my, because of my behavior. If you say my wife catch me today, they chat somebody. Catch me 3 months later, they chat another person. Or more, just know say that me and man will do live. It will be like homo live. I go just day here, you go see Bongo Lee, you go see Sean Leeds, you go see Ebojele, you go see John. You go turn Daddy Freeze and John live. Because nobody go feel they join my life. So men to learn to do better. Learn to do better, men. You know why? Because if your wife goes through your phone and sees a chat with a woman, but she knows your character, she will not make an issue of it. But when she knows, say you they dodge, they go call you where you there, you go say, I'm on the road in traffic. But then they are hearing football in the background. That thing do me with my ex that time.
It's true.
I called my ex one day. I say, where are you? She said she did office. I was driving from the mainland. So I just turned into our office street. Baba, the gate, where they before the gate of the office, they don't lock the security, they sleep. You see, their office get its own gate. They're like 3 gates. First gate, road gate. Second gate, gate of the compound. Third gate, gate of the building of the office. Baba, the road gate, they don't lock and the security don't sleep. 9 o'clock. Now me use horn and light, wake security. I say I won't call see person for the office. They don't close since 5 o'clock. I can't call my ex back. I say, yeah, are you still in the office? Say, yes. Meanwhile, they hear football for background. Like you did inside house. Waiting my house, no be being so. But you understand what
but how you just explain, men are fond of it.
Then I now told her, I'm in front of your office. Everywhere is off, lights are off. That my headlight, my on lights reach all this place safe. She cut phone. And guess what? She go come house, turn am to fight. You know, nothing with she go fight you. One of my biggest complaints with my ex was she used to come home at 11 o'clock. Married woman where they come house at 11 o'clock, but her office they close for 7. If you hear the kind of stories where they hear, say they rob for body loan. So she put her phone for her boots. Okay, so were they robbing for 3 hours? You know? So what I'm trying to tell you is, Baba, when you're inside relationship, if una no open up, give una self, it go be like world war. There's nothing taste buds wants. The only reason why I don't like taste buds handling my phone is she will make the lights too bright. Do you understand? Check what she wants to check and then run down my battery. But I don't have any chat. Let me tell you, Even the girl that buys my cars, na still woman and na fine babe. So I am surrounded by beautiful. I've always worked with women. Look at Ada. Ada was my last colleague. Before Ada, it was 3 women. Naomi, what's the other girl's name? The Ugandan babe. There were 3 words. I've forgotten their name. I don't know. I don't forget people I work with. Naomi and I don't forget now Naomi because I'm always in touch with Naomi. Baba, if she does not trust me, I can't do my type of work. So I have to win. Kayla was before Naomi. I have to do my, if I want to do my type of work that involves women, I have to make sure that there is trust. If she sees me, like for instance, every single day I call Mysticness. How are you, Debbie? What's up? Every day, he don't come out for, say we dey work together, he don't turn. If I call Debbie once in 6 months and I'm on the phone with her for an hour, or Debbie has an issue and she calls me and we're on the phone for an hour, or there's a particular period in her life she's going through something and she needs me to talk to her 3 times a week for 3 weeks, it's different from every day me and Debbie are engaging in. Then my wife can say, come, waiting be you and Debbie dey do. Do you understand what so men too, you are not doing well. What does my wife want to say on my phone? I can tell my child, my son, to go and give my wife my phone, and so she can look through it for the next. There's no conversation I'm having. There are some conversations, for instance, that are difficult to explain. Like when I was doing that, when there was a lady I brought who did her body, and I was following up and constantly, how does this look? How does this look? How does this look? Is me, I'm a broadcaster, I'm a journalist. When I'm talking about it, I want to have a clear picture in my head. Does not mean I want to go and sleep with her. But sometimes that can be a bit difficult to explain to someone who's not a journalist. So I'll be using style to explain to her that, come, I'll let me go carry the phone, go show and say, see this girl body, is it better than it was before? What do you think? Do you understand? What do you think? I try to be that open with her so that there is no room for suspicion. Nothing will they pass my eye. If you put your picture up, I will zoom everywhere. Then I'll go and show there's this thing that all of you do. Debbie, you are a guy inside it. You'll be showing the leg of camel. You girls understand what that is. So I always used to wonder. I used to sit down with my wife. I say, babe, why are girls showing the V of their private part? What is this? All the girls. And guess what? I still have followers that are Nollywood actresses. Some upcoming, some have already blown, and they still have these pictures. So how do I explain this to my wife? How do I have this conversation with my wife in such a way that I let her mind be at rest, that I'm not finding this, I don't want to go and sleep with the girl. The fact that I'm looking at it does not mean that I want to go and sleep with the girl, or I want to, because so all these girls have direct access to them. So if my wife sees me she enters the room and I'm talking to Debbie, she will not say, what are you talking? Do you understand? But if she enters my room and sees me talking to Debbie every day, then it becomes an issue. Look at Remy. Remy is another beautiful girl that's always on my life. How do I manage? Because men, you also have to. Would I like it if the amount of beautiful women I have on my life, if my wife had the amount of men like that on her own life? Now, world war, I don't go like her. So I now have to constantly put myself in her shoes and keep thinking about these things, so that sometimes I want to gist with Mysticness. Hey, but I just realized that, would I like it if my wife is gisting with somebody who looks good like Mysticness but is a man? If the answer is no, I will say I'll talk to Mysticness later. We jump and pass. Doesn't mean I can't call her up. Doesn't mean I can't gist with her. But if it is getting too much, And my wife says, so that's how you talk. No problem. I want to be talking to. She now finds one fine boy or two fine boys. Baba, I go on war. Now, guess what? My wife also has community of rich clients. The kind of food where my wife they sell. If you no get money, you know if you buy them. You know fit. At least you have to be average. Because the cheapest thing in my wife's food is maybe 15K. So if you are earning 100K, you cannot use 15K out of your salary to go and buy her food. You have to be on a certain level. My wife has clients that have Rolls Royces. Would I want my wife to be chatting with them, even if they are not as handsome as the girls that are in my life are beautiful? Would I want my wife to be chatting with them all day? Of course, my wife. Someone said, how much is a plate? Sexy Henry, that's how you know you are poor. We don't sell plates. You see, poverty must always show up. You see, because it is inside your DNA. They don't need to do DNA tests for you. Once they just open your eye like they go see them inside your eyeball, poverty. They open your teeth like this, they'll see poverty. They'll say, bring out your tongue. They'll see poverty. It is inside your body, they radiate. They talk of plates. How much is a plate? Can you imagine? See, as poor man, they think plate. It is 1.5. You buy 500 naira rice, 1 turkey and 1 egg. Only how much per plate? How much per plate, go? So, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. So, when you say, if my wife checks my phone, waiting she go find, she no go like him, I blame you. You are not handling your marriage well. If you are handling your marriage well, and you understand that because you are a man does not mean you can bully your wife. There was a time when my wife was a bit insecure about the people I had to ease them into her life and let her realize that, look, I don't have anything I'm doing with these people. There's one particular girl that used to work with me. Me and the girl can argue, Naomi. Me and Naomi can argue from morning till night. We will start the argument in inbox. Then we'll graduate to phone call and we will fight. Because we disagree on different topics. Once my wife knows it's Naomi I'm talking to, she knows say the talk no pass arguments. I cannot tell Naomi, meet me in a hotel, I want to sleep with you. No. She go no say, is either Peter Obi, Naomi na Peter Obi supporter, me and no be Peter Obi supporter. So, na steady with the fight. On top, Oshobi, is it Obi or it's not Obi? You understand what I'm saying? So, men, and this also goes for women. If you have friends, if I have friends, like if Miss Thickness came to Nigeria, I can never go and see her alone in her hotel. Not that I will get there and get tempted. But the optics. A married pastor coming to see a beautiful single girl in a hotel room. If I had to see Miss Thickness and it was an emergency, it would either be in an open place like KFC or a restaurant, maybe Cubana. We are sitting outside on a table, we're having lunch or drinks and having a conversation. Even that one, my wife say, what's happening? Especially because someone can take our picture and the next thing, brother, Daddy Freeze and Miss Thickness are. You know how these things come out. So men, learn the optics. Now, some of you are not Daddy Freeze. If you carry 20 girls, nobody will know you. You're invisible. Some people are invisible. They are lucky. So, an invisible man or an invisible woman, you are luckier than some of us. We, nothing we do, they don't catch our photo. Bakam. See Sheon Kuti. Record something when he talk 2 years ago. They don't quickly go catch him saying slap police. Meanwhile, they did not record the whole video where he was explaining what was happening. So, as a church leader, forget life. I have another set of beautiful women. Some are single, some are divorced, some are separated, some are even married and they are not happy with their husbands and they will do eye to you. If you gawk it, you are finished. Let me tell you, it is easier to sleep with a married woman than a single woman. Because married women, you see, when they are single, They hide there, they hide do body count. You understand? They fear so many things. But once woman don't born 3, 4 children, 2, 3 children, nothing like body count. They say head of bola no be size of head of Pekin. Once Pekin don't pass there like this, 1, 2, finish. Nothing like body count again. Everything don't go. Body count, and when you be CC, you know what made the place shock absorber spoil? Baba, body count don't enter bush. So some of them are bored. Some of them, their husbands are cheating and they are unconsciously trying to get back at their husbands. Some of them genuinely just want excitement. Their husbands are boring them. Their husbands are not cheating on them, but they are just bored. You know what it is? Going to bed every day with the same man. Lying in bed day, and then the man's stomach is growing. He has started to snore. After 40, you go get 1 or 2 teeth problem. Before you know, a small mouth odor go enter. Then the woman sleep. The woman comes into the bed with you. Something where used to way before go stand like this. All of a sudden now, he will stand like this. Then you go to try adjust stand. Then he go stand like that. You understand? So the women now want to have an experience aside that, even if the other person they are going to meet too now like this into go be, but at least as long as no be the same one for house, say okay, this one another one now, you understand, they go manage them just for the spice. So once I've noticed that once I start counseling women, oh, I'm going through marriage, if I talk to you today and I tell you I go talk to you tomorrow, I'll give you like 5 days gap. No begin they be, because women with their spiritual leaders or church leaders, they develop intimacy. I'm telling you this for free. So all you need to do is do like this, bagam, you don't enter. And she doesn't want to ruin her marriage. She just wants to get back at her husband, or she just wants fun. So she will do it with you on the low. Nobody will ever know except God. So this is my message to men. Understand your wives. Understand what they are going through. Don't rub it in them that I'm James Bond, I can have any woman I like. You are a woman, you must be submissive. It is counterintuitive. It is counterintuitive. Do you know how many married women I have counseled and have caught me? I know when I'm 47 years old. Will I not know when a woman is cutting me eye? At 47, I must be a total fool if by this age I don't know if a woman is cutting me eye. So, but I still have to be her pastor. She came to me with a problem. I'm not going to say, oh, you are trying to seduce me, get out. No. I'm going to make sure that I kill that seduction. And make sure that my wife is there for me, because it get the way I go there lonely. Now me go dey look my phone like this. I go see mistakeness picture. Now me go carry the phone, send down DM, say, how far, what are you? Baba, loneliness na omo aleo. Baba, when you are engaged, and by engaged, let me explain it to you, because people like to be olodo. Drinking gari and bathing with gari can never give you the same effect. Let me explain that again. Gari mimo. If you drink 1 cup of gari and you bathe with 1 bucket of gari, or you soak yourself in a bathtub of gari, which one go belle fool you? The bathtub of gari, the bucket of gari, or the cup of gari? The cup. You can have a man in your life that gives you money. You can have friends that keep you company. But when you need a man's company, your friend and sister and mother cannot help. When you need a man's company, that is, say you need somebody to touch you, you need somebody to hug you, your mother cannot. Calling your mother on the phone will not help. Calling your sister will not help. Calling your best friend will not help. So when I say lonely, it does not mean you don't have a husband in the house. it means you have a husband in your house who's too busy to take notice of you. You can live with someone and still be lonely. Work against loneliness in marriage. Talk to one another. Make sure you engage in fakafiki. Whether you like it or not, whether you are enjoying it or not, do it and communicate. Jesus cannot help you during ovulation. When I'm talking to women, when you don't say women won't do they stand. Am I lying?
But it's the fact that if you're saying the truth. As in, maybe majority of women who don't want to say this, you understand? But sometimes you can get like out. Let me just put it in broken. Like your clitoris go, they do like this.
Because don't mention the name. Don't mention the name of the thing. Just we know what you're talking about. No matter. So at that time when you need that part of your body stimulated, if you like call Jesus from morning to night, unless you want to make Jesus come bench you, Jesus no fit walk. Never bath with Gary and expect to get the effect of drinking Gary. Even Gary of Eba is different from Gary of drinking. When you come out, like, imagine you've been to the market all day and you now enter the house and they now give you a cup of cold Gary and water. You will prefer it to Eba and meat. So, no talking because of Instagram and because of all these other networks to make them no catch us. Nobody can help you when you have those. So when a woman or a man is lonely, Baba.
But at the freeze, do you know that majority of women now they even masturbate now more than men?
Hey, don't go mention this word again. This man I go remove you. Now. Let us even talk about this without using the word. Starting with Debbie. What is your take? When last did you do that? Please, if you are watching on YouTube, send me money. You are enjoying this live. I don't want to pay. Send me money.
When last did I do it? I do it yesterday.
Are you serious? Now let me ask you, is it something you do often or is something you just do once in a while?
There are months I do it often. There's months I don't even do it at all. So
what makes you want to do it often? See,
sometimes
everybody don't rise. TikTok now don't rise to 222.
Sometimes I just because I keep it in my bathroom, right? So sometimes let's say I just go there to pee or whatever, and I look at it. I'm like, oh my god, I've not used this in a while. I'll use it. So if it's where I can see it all the time, I'll definitely use it. So that's just it. And then it also helps you to sleep. Like me, it's very hard for me to sleep. So once I use it like this, my body don't calm down. I'll sleep like this.
But for me, I don't enjoy that though. I prefer the real one. For me, I'm saying me.
Somebody say send account here, Daddy Freeze. Now so now they enjoy this kind. Now already pay for this kind of talk. All right, 100-131-7326. 100-131-7326. If you have my account number, help me pin it. Let her continue talking. Continue talking, my sister.
You understand? For me, I prefer the real one more than that. Because that one is just like I'm stressing myself. Why would I be stressing myself?
I know, baby. If you use the right toy, you know be stressing yourself.
I had the one I don't have, my dear. Anyway, I'm not using it for myself.
Hey,
I live in Antwerpen, my dear. I live in Antwerpen. You know, in Antwerpen, we have the largest.
Oh, yeah, come. The two of you are not married. Over to the married woman.
Me, I've never used any of those sex toys before.
What about your hands?
Don't say the S word. Don't say the S word.
What about your hands?
No, I haven't.
What about the shower head?
No.
Why?
No, I haven't.
Something in me feels like you're not being entirely honest. Now, let me ask you a question. How healthy would you consider that part of your life with your husband? Would you consider it very healthy?
The thing now is when we were dating, we can have sex. Sorry, oh, it's the
Hey,
S
be
word.
careful. Don't
Sorry,
use the
sorry,
word.
sorry. When we were dating,
We can do it.
the S was the highlight of the relationship. You can do it maybe 5 times, 6 times a day. Because we
6
always tell
times a
ourselves
day.
maybe weekends. Because we used to tell ourselves Friday to Sunday. We're always busy during the week. So that was like the highlight of the relationship. But as we started marriage, as the years went by, we started planning it.
Oh, yeah. You have like specific days?
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
wow.
specific days.
Wow.
That is my own home. We have specific days, and then we can say, okay, in the week at least, let's at least do like 4.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
That's not
Let's do
bad.
like 4 in a
Not bad.
week.
It's not
Yeah.
good.
It
It's
depends
not good, but it's not bad.
But it's not.
Yeah, I understand. Because, work, children,
Be tired.
you're already tired. So it's kind of planned. Do you understand? And that's how it is. That's how it has been. I've been married for 10 years. So
Wow.
that's how it has.
It's that schedule, right? You don't change it. You don't.
We don't change it.
Okay.
No, we don't change it. So it's either the weekend where we have more time, or maybe one day in the week and then weekend. But that's how we have structured it.
That's
But when we were dating, it was a lot then compared to now that we're married. So I've not really used any of those things. In marriage, it's completely different for me.
So when it's necessary, that's when I normally like. When it's necessary, but for me, I prefer the real one. You understand? But when it's necessary, but it's not something I'll just wake up in the morning and say, no, I want to go and use. No. Only when it's necessary.
for me too. It's
You
necessary.
understand?
Busy.
And
How
it now
far?
depends on the person. Like my husband's drive is way higher than mine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's way higher than
Tomorrow,
mine.
Abi.
So in a way, I'll have to
Yes.
just kind of catch up. If you don't say,
You did my house.
babe, now wow, it's like we did it last month. Me, like it was just day before yesterday. Then I will know that okay.
Tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
it will be Panadol. You know, if it be like Panadol, let's
Okay,
listen.
okay,
Yeah, let's just no.
Tomorrow.
Let's just say this. If not be Panadol, you know, if it be like Panadol.
No, it's not
Do
like.
you understand?
Yes, I know.
We are telling you that-
That's what I want you to. That's what I want you.
Okay.
Yeah, why we're looking for the routine? Let's
Okay,
be,
awesome. That would
you
be
know,
fine. That would be good.
let the body be relaxed. That's what we are
You
saying.
understand? Of course. No, it's not as if I'm disagreeing with what you're saying. It's not as if you're not
All right,
saying the
bless
right
you.
thing.
No. What I'm saying is, when I can't do the real thing, I'm the tool and just,
All right, guys.
If you don't be if you not be
The
Panadol, you
person
know
that
people
asked
like
for my
Panadol.
account, send it quickly because I want to start another live. I want to
Okay.
end this,
Okay.
and I want to talk about Judy Austin and Yul Edochie's new song together. Could this be love? I'm coming back in exactly 2 minutes across all platforms. If you're watching on TikTok, remember to come back and bring your money to come and buy my gift. If you're watching on YouTube, please come on.
That means I would have gotten home before we started that because I want to go home now with my car.
Instagram, I'm coming
Yeah,
back
quick.
now. Take care, guys.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right, thank you.
The person
Okay.
asking for my account, he said my account. I don't drop answers. I don't see anything. No.
Maybe later, maybe I can come to you when I come to the house.
7326 Zenith Bank. Debbie, Susan, and I didn't get your
Thank
name.
you.
Okay.
I didn't get your name. What's your name?
Lady BJ, you know the story now, Lady
Yes, I know. Take care, my darling sister, and God bless.
All right.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm coming right back. If you're watching on Instagram, I'm also coming right back. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll be back in just 2 minutes. This particular live will not take long. I'll be back in 2 minutes so we can have all the fun in the world. Send me the money on YouTube, YouTube people. When I know to try today, oh, I'm coming back anyway.